This video is being made in something of a hurry. That's because not many minutes ago I interviewed a friend of mine who has volunteered to go to Ukraine to fight. And I thought it's important that this video be recorded and then uploaded in a timely manner. He actually got in touch with me some days ago, but I said, "Have you told your family yet?" And he said he hadn't. And I said I didn't want to be the way that they found out. It might be something of a shock, and he agreed. And he also said that he wanted to wait until he was at the airport with all the kit, with a paid-for ticket in hand, ready to go, in case he didn't raise enough money to buy the kit, and in case he backed out. He didn't want to look a fool. He wanted to make sure he really was going to go through with it. Anyway, it seems he has. He's sold an awful lot of his property in order to raise money to buy his kit. He didn't want to be a burden when he arrived. He didn't want to force the Ukrainians to find him a water bottle and a mess tin and camouflage trousers, boots and all the rest. So he's bought all of that, not a gun, but he's bought all the rest of the military kit. And I interviewed him at Heathrow. The idea was to make it a video interview, but unfortunately the Wi-Fi wasn't up to it, so it's audio only. Before I play the audio, however, I think perhaps it's important to say that I'm doing this in order to document his words before he went away. The temptation is to say, oh, well, circumstances are not favourable now, we can't do a video call, it'd be better with pictures, we'll do this on Monday. But maybe he won't be available on Monday. He's going there now. So we did it audio only, and I wasn't trying to dissuade him from going. I didn't see that as my role, nor am I putting this up in order to encourage other people necessarily to copy him. It's just a document of his thoughts before he took this big leap in the dark, and I thought it would be good to give him the opportunity to voice his story and his opinions to as many people as possible. Here's the interview.
Hello, Lloyd.
Hello, Joseph. Right, so why are you at Heathrow Airport today?
Well, I'm at Heathrow Airport today because at 6:10 I will fly to Poland, to Warsaw, and then I will make my own way to the Ukrainian border, where I will join up with the International Legion, as they're calling it now, because there's lots more of them. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So you've already been in touch with the International Brigade, now Legion?
I contacted the embassy about 3 days into the conflict, and they sent me a link to a private citizens, a Ukrainian private citizens organisation that I believe is now part of the Ukrainian government. I'm not exactly sure about the legalities of that. And I filled out a form and told them the limited experience I have and my age and stuff, and whether I have a criminal record or not, and they accepted me. And now it's just a matter of getting there and joining the International Legion.
Right. So what do you expect to be doing with the International Legion?
Well, I'm not the best infantry soldier in the world. I never quite finished my TA training, and I'm definitely not a paramedic, but I do have some skills in both fields, and I'm hoping to basically assist, do my duty, whatever it may be.
But you are expecting to serve at the front line, is that right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll hopefully be in a hospital that might be a little bit behind the front line, but I have no real idea of, I have an idea about what I'd like to do, which is to help save people's lives rather than take them, but what the world and the war think about that and what they bring to me might be entirely different.
But you were kitting yourself out with military kit, weren't you? Camouflage gear and the like.
Yes, I've got a motley collection of ex-British Army gear, some bought, some donated by ex-servicemen friends. Thank you to Carla and Terry for the Navy sorting me out there. I don't actually have. Obviously, I don't have any weapons yet, apart from a knife I made myself, which will probably be mostly used for making sandwiches. I'm fairly well equipped. But if I have to fight, I'll fight. I'm just going sort of more morally with the intention to try and be a stretcher bearer than a sniper. But again, we'll see.
Right. So when you get there, will you be putting yourself under the command of some officers in the Legion who will give you
I
orders
think
that
so,
you
yes.
are a...
I will be a Ukrainian resident and a Ukrainian soldier from the moment I cross the line, subject to the laws and military regulations.
So if you are ordered to the front and have a gun put in your hand and you are told to shoot, then they will be able to punish you for disobeying.
If I have to do my duty and shoot the enemy, I will shoot the enemy.
Right. Well, you use the word duty there. So you see it as your duty to fight for Ukraine, do you?
I see it as, I think in a more global sense, the reason I'm doing it is I firmly believe that if NATO has to commit its armies, and the EU has to commit its armies, and Scandinavia and all those other people, our allies, then that will leave us so weak that the Chinese will be able to catch poor Taiwan, which they absolutely want to do and have stated as such, and that will change the entire global power balance, and we'll have two dictators who are the most powerful men in the world as a united front, and I don't want to see that for all the faults with our country and all the faults with the West. I believe in freedom and democracy, and I'm 38 and I have no wife and kids, and I think war should be fought by the middle-aged and not by the young, given the chance.
Right. So you see that the stakes are very high, and so you see yourself fighting for a global cause here.
Pretty much, yeah. I think if we don't stop him if we can stop him in Ukraine, the Russians will turn against him, and hopefully it'll all be over. And if we don't, then the West is on the back foot, and we're gonna find out what it's like to not be powerful and successful and liberal and free and all of the great things that we have.
Mm-hmm. So you've said your goodbyes to your family, have you?
Yes, I have. I decided to let my mum have her birthday without finding out, and then I called her the next day. That's a bit difficult to talk about, really. Yeah, it was emotional. No one likes having to say goodbye to their mum.
Well, no. But the point is that her birthday wasn't very long ago, was it? So she had very short notice.
A couple of days, literally. I think her birthday was Saturday, and I told her on the Sunday, or Friday, and I told her on the Saturday. I can't remember which now. Right,
but you'd made your mind up to go some while before that.
As I think it was about the last Wednesday morning. Pretty much, I woke up and I saw what was happening, and I've not currently got much work on. As you know, I was going to move to Panama, and that fell through, so I didn't have much work in Bristol, and a private landlord decided to chuck me out, and I just didn't really feel I had any excuses, you know. Like, I've always thought that doing your duty for freedom and democracy and fighting for your country and fighting for other free countries is a very important thing, and it's really happening now, so I don't think I'd be able to live with myself if I didn't go and do my bit.
I'm reading a book about a man who volunteered to go and fight in the Spanish Civil War, and that, when I started reading that book, that seemed like a past age. Oh, that's the sort of thing that people used to do.
Yeah, I can see that. I always sort of thought if I'd been around in the time of the Spanish Civil War, I would have gone to fight, but it didn't happen. And then I considered Kurdistan because but then I decided not to for long, complicated political reasons. But this just seems very cut and dry to me. There's a tyrant, a dictator, has invaded a free country, an ally of ours. And there's no pretending that's not exactly what's happened. And people are losing their homes and their lives and their wives and brothers and children right now. And it's all because of one man, Putin. And if we can stop him and make him look foolish enough in Russia, hopefully the Russians will fancy a power change.
Well, yes, I see that. Now, I can remember you've told me quite a bit about your past. You've been a fairly adventurous sort. You were hunting boar in was it Hawaii?
Yeah, I got invited to hunt boar for 3 months in Hawaii by a musician I met once. That was tremendous fun. And I hiked all around Canada for about another 3 and a bit months afterwards. picking morel mushrooms.
Right.
And that was, again, not really military experience, but I had a gun on my back, and we were hiking in very dangerous, if you get lost, you're a dead man kind of nature, for days at a time, camping out with the grizzly bears. So yeah, I feel I'm not exactly the average chap who's just left his job in a chip shop and been in the cadets,
Right. You've also lived in...
And more luck to them if there are guys like that. There are lots of roles in warfare that can be filled by all kinds of people. From filling sandbags to digging latrine pits, it all counts. But I have had a fairly adventurous life. I've got more stories than I think anyone needs, really. So
Yeah, I think you've lived in Germany and in Portugal, is that right?
I've hitchhiked all over Europe. I've lived in Germany and Portugal. Spent enough time in France and Spain so it'd be more than a holiday. I've definitely tried to embrace adventure where it happened.
Well, fair enough.
Possible.
I also remember you're telling me that you used to work as a bouncer.
Yeah,
And-
I used to be a barman in Bristol for years, and then one day I realised that it was easier to earn £12 an hour and not pour anyone pints than earn £6 an hour and have to pour people pints who you can't do anything about if they're horribly rude to you. I decided that bouncing was more me. And I actually really enjoyed that job. Quite proud to say I saved a few lives while I was doing it and stopped a few girls from getting raped. So, never got any thanks for it, not so much as a pint. But I know I did it, and that's what matters, really.
So talking about your time as a bouncer then, I can remember that you told me a few anecdotes of scuffles that you got involved with as a bouncer, and it always struck me that there was a certain amount of enthusiasm in your voice. It came across as though...
I consider myself a deeply moral person. I've never been a bully. I'm not a sadist. But if there is what I would call a green light situation where there is an aggressor and they're attacking someone else or they're trying to attack me, I definitely have a little bit of warrior's joy within my soul. I think a little bit's probably an understatement. There's nothing makes you feel quite so alive as essentially fighting for your life or someone else's.
Right. So, okay. So you are someone who, more than most, likes a scrap. Is that fair?
I think that's fair enough to say. I've managed to keep a clean criminal record over the years, and I've, never made such a mess of someone that they, are permanently hurt from it and, have cause for vengeance or legal action. But, I've definitely handed out quite a few black eyes over the years and enjoyed it. They didn't listen,
Okay.
Bit of a joke, that.
So, what do you expect to happen in the immediate future? You've got to. Are you hitchhiking to Ukraine?
Well, I'm at Heathrow right now. I'll be flying to Poland, and then I basically think it's going to be easy to hitchhike. I imagine every single Polish person will be more than happy to take a guy down the road at the moment. There's been actually the one thing I thought was worth mentioning is the amount of public support that I've experienced over the last 48 hours, getting my uniform on, making my way to the train station in Bristol on the train, making my way to Heathrow, and then I had to stay the night here. So I must have had 100 people of every imaginable race come and shake my hand, congratulate me, offer me a cigarette, talk to me, wish me well.
So how do they know that you're doing what you're doing? Are you carrying a Ukrainian flag?
I'm wearing DPMs at the moment. I'm in desert kit.
Right.
I have a mix of modern camo, DPM, pain, olive green, and desert.
Wow.
I'm a four camo monstrosity at the moment, but there's not many other guys in the airport. There was one earlier. I don't know where he's gone. But I'm very clearly either a serving British soldier or someone going to volunteer.
Right. So will you be carrying a blue and yellow flag through Poland to...
I have blue and yellow paint pens. and I imagine, I will be liberally applying them to everything as soon as I get to the International Battalion. Maybe I should do a big patch on my Bergen before then, just to, keep the blue on blue down. Thank you, mate. Say another member of the public giving us a thumbs up there.
Right.
But I couldn't actually buy a Ukrainian flag in Bristol. They were all sold out. There's according to the Army Supply Shop, the Marcus's stores in Bristol, who gave me a great discount and are really supporting all the lads going over there. They think there's about 1,000 guys from Bristol and the surrounding areas alone gone.
1,000.
Say again?
1,000. I was just remarking on 1,000.
From the surrounding areas and stuff. So yeah, it's good. It feels like a very powerful movement is happening. There's a call in the air, and people are answering it.
Right. So, God, you don't really know, can you, the level of danger you're going to be putting yourself in?
I have no idea. I imagine it's going to be pretty damn bad. I spoke to a few people over the weekend who'd served in Kosovo and Afghanistan, and they said from what they've seen on the news reports, it was absolutely nothing like anything they experienced. I wouldn't want to say the wrong thing about Afghanistan or Iraq, but they weren't the largest of wars. This is a really huge, full-scale conflict that we haven't seen since, well, when was the last time tanks clashed with tanks? I mean, Israel, Lebanon, but that's not in the West. So the Second World War is maybe something in Kosovo, maybe there was some armour there, but again, on a smaller scale. So this is the first really big war that anyone I know has seen. So if I'm dead in a week, I've done everything I needed to in life. Travelled the world, eaten lots of good food, had adventures, won fights, slept with a fair amount of women, most of them good looking. So yeah, not too bad. Even been in love once, so that's enough, I think. But I obviously would like to win. I mean, there's a great opportunity for a double glazing business in Ukraine afterwards.
Oh yeah, I imagine demand will be very high.
Yeah, I'm quite serious about that. If I make it through, we'll be, this time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires. White gold.
Good plan. Good plan. Well, yeah. I wish you all the best, of course, and I hope
Thank you very much, Nick.
I hope you get the role that you're after, your medic role. If that's going to that's going to please your mum, and you'll be saving lives. So
I hope so. One way or another, we'll be saving lives, because if we don't stop him, it's going to carry on. So yeah. That's why I'm doing it, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay, well, I hope to stay in touch with you over there.
I will try and give you as many updates and videos as I can, and hopefully you can do what you do with them, and let the 1.2 million subscribers I'd like to say hello to now. Keep them informed and entertained, as you always do.
Okay, thank you so much for talking to me, and as I say, talk to you again soon. I really hope so.
Do it again soon, Nick. I'll try and give you a call when I get to the border. I have absolutely no idea what coverage is going to be like. Apparently, Elon Musk's put up a few satellites, but I don't know really. So we'll see.
Righto. Okay. Best of British.
Good luck, mate. See you soon.
Goodbye.
Lindybeige!